Well, again, this is Terry from HCG Diet Cafe, and I'm here to talk to you about achieving fat loss success. This is mostly to help answer your questions. For those of you who are just here to listen, I have a few things prepared that I will go through, a few points on the program. I get asked a lot of questions on. I'll go through those. And as I go through, please put your questions into the chat box, and I'll answer them at the end. It's not very long, but it's just to get us off on some basics so everybody's kind of starting at the same place. So we're talking about achieving fat loss success, and basically, if I can do it, anyone can. And I say that because I had a heck of a time. I kept gaining weight and I couldn't lose it. Well, I'm now down probably 60 pounds from my high. And much of that is due to HCG and my success on the program. And so I've been there, done that. I have all sorts of tips and tools for you to use, and I'm glad to share them with you. I am in my 50s. I was postmenopausal. For the guys, that won't matter much. But for the women, you know what it's like. It's hard to lose weight. So I was able to, and if I can do it, basically, I know you can too. So here's my before and after. And you say, Terry, why do you only have a headshot? Well, it's because I didn't like a lot of pictures taken of me at my higher weight. So I wasn't in a lot of pictures. I was behind the camera. And I even look different now. In a little bit, you'll see my face. And you'll see that I even look a little bit different now. But again, I'm about 60 pounds lower than my highest weight. Much of that attributed to the HCG program. And I say tacky but true. I hate these pictures that you see, but this is really true, and it's probably even bigger than that by now. If I had those same jeans, I finally got rid of them because I didn't want to show them off. It's a tacky picture, but it really shows you, that yes, that is how much bigger it was than I am now. And like I said, it'd probably be even bigger. But basically, I was wearing a size 16 and probably could have worn an 18, but I wouldn't let myself buy anything that said 18. I'm sure you understand how that works. And I'm down to about an 8 or 10 right now. And I don't wear my clothes super tight. I'd probably be a straight 8 if I did, but like an 8 to 10 right now. So there's 3 steps to the plan: indulge, fat loss, and maintain. During the indulge piece, you basically eat what you want while you start taking the drops. It kind of builds up in your system so that your fat loss will kick in real well. So you indulge for 2 to 3 days, eat what you want. Any weight that you might gain in those 2 days, 2 to 3 days, will come off the first day or 2 anyway. Then you have the fat loss success. And the fat loss part is the 500 calorie program. About that, I'll spend most of the time in that. And then maintain. And that is probably the most difficult part of the program, and I intend to write more information on it, but I haven't done that yet, but we'll get there soon. So the basics, this is the basics of the eating plan. Here's what you can eat. On the left, I have your lean meats. You can't eat, one of the things people ask, what about salmon or tuna especially? You can't eat those because they're high in fat, because what you're doing is you're basically doing your best not to put fat into your body or onto your body. You're doing your best to not do that so that the HCG works to grab the fat that's in your cells, because HCG opens the fat stores. It's the hormone found in pregnant women that open the fat stores so that if something happens to the mom and she's not getting food, that the baby can literally live off the fat of the land. So you're trying to avoid as much fat as you can, which for long term is not appropriate. Our bodies need healthy fats, but for short term, it's okay. And I do want to say I'm not a doctor. I am a wellness coach, and anything I say here is purely informational. It's not to tell you how to live your life or how to be healthy, purely informational. So the other part are what the vegetables you can eat: beet greens, spinach, green salad, chard, chicory, tomatoes, celery, radishes, asparagus, onions, cucumbers, and cabbage. Now, a lot of people ask me about broccoli and cauliflower. I personally ate broccoli and cauliflower, um, and lettuce. Where's lettuce? I don't have lettuce on here. Oh, green salad. It says green salad. I personally ate broccoli and cauliflower. I figured if they weren't starchy greens, I would be okay. And starchy or sugary. And the things not to eat are things like carrots, potatoes, even sweet potatoes, because they're starchier foods. Squash is another one that you want to avoid during the program. So light greens. Now you can have on the bread side, you can have a low-fat breadstick, 1 Melba toast, or 2 Melba rounds. Melba doesn't taste that good until you're on this program, and then it's like a gift from heaven. It tastes so good, and I think it's because you've literally cleaned up your diet because you're eating so clean. And then on the fruit side, strawberries, a medium-sized orange, 1 apple, and half a grapefruit. The key to all this is you can only have 2 items from each category. So 2 from the meats, 2 from the vegetables. Well, 1 listed on the bread side, and then 2 listed on the bread side, and 2 on the fruit side. Supposedly that's for 2 meals during the day. But I'm telling you right now, I cannot just eat twice a day. I wouldn't have made it. So what I did is every 2 hours I would eat something. So I might have, like, let's start at the top. I might have a 3-ounce chicken breast first thing in the morning. Then about 2 hours later, I'd have a green salad with a little bit of lemon juice or apple cider vinegar. And then 2 hours after that, I'd have my Melba rounds. And then a couple hours after that, I'd have my orange. I would literally eat all day, every couple hours, because if you take 1 item from each of the categories twice a day, that's 8 items. If you eat every 2 hours, that's 16 times you're eating. 8 times you're eating every 2 hours. So it's very easy to stay on it when you're not hungry because you're eating that. Not only that, the HCG that I offer on my site also has something in it to help with a little bit of appetite control so that you don't get as hungry. And it's a natural, I think it's an amino acid that helps you. Okay, so everybody asks me about cheating. Can I cheat on this? Can I cheat on that? I just got one this week. Can I use sugar-free Jell-O? Well, yes and no. Number one, aspartame is deadly. It's a neurotoxin. I don't suggest it for anybody or anything, or drinks or anything. And it also confuses your pancreas. So it doesn't help, especially people who are diabetic don't go on this unless you talk to your doctor. But people who are diabetic drink a lot of stuff with aspartame, and it still confuses the insulin sugar levels in your body. So it's not a good idea to use stuff with aspartame. If you're desperate, and if you want to eat sugar-free Jell-O and it's 0 calories and 0 fat, well, that's up to you. I always preface cheating with, if after you've been on the program 2 weeks, again, the first 3 days are the hardest to stick to. After you've been on the program for 2 weeks, you kind of have an idea what your weight loss is. And I do suggest buy a good weight scale that has tenths of a pound or even quarters of a pound, just so you can see your progress. The average weight loss, if people stick diligently to the program, is 5 pounds a week. I shouldn't say average. That's the most common weight loss, is 5 pounds a week. My colleague had somebody lose like 8 pounds a week, which is insane, but it worked. And then people who lose less than that typically are not following the program strictly. And there was somebody I talked to the other day, one of my clients. She said a friend of hers wasn't losing weight, but he'd grab a cookie every so often, or grab this or grab that. Well, he's defeating the purpose. The purpose is starve your body of fat so that it goes after the fat stores in your body. and you live off the fat of the land. So after 2 weeks, if you want to try something, first of all, make sure it's hardly any fat. If it's not on the list, see if it's any fat, if there's any fat in it. Hopefully not. And then try it for a day or two, because you'll see if your weight loss has changed. This, like any other program, this is the first time I would say this, and the last time. This is the only program I tell you weigh yourself every day, because you will see progress almost every day. That's why you need a good scale too, so you can see the tenths of a pound you might have lost. And that's really, it's exciting and important, because if you decide that you want to get rid of the weight and you want to cheat, if you know the scale's going to be lower tomorrow if you don't cheat, you're very likely to stay on it. Where traditional programs where you lose 1 to 2 pounds a week, you don't see progress every day, so it gets very disappointing and discouraging. And we are a society today that we want it now, immediate gratification, and this program will provide that if you follow it properly. Okay, so cheating. Very good cheating would be to expand your vegetable choices a little bit, and have a little bit extra if you want something. Have a half a meal. So your basic meal is the protein, veggies, the Melba toast, and the fruit. Have a half of that if you're hungry. You shouldn't be very hungry on the program. No more than usual. I wasn't any hungrier than I normally was, because people say, well, don't you get hungry? Yeah, I got hungry, but it was the same as when I normally ate. So a half a meal. Start taking some good supplements, especially a good multivitamin. And be careful of synthetic vitamins. Try and find whole food vitamins, also to be added to my site in the near future. And then I have an audio called Craving Smasher. So if there's a specific food you love and you have a hard time staying away from it, the Craving Smasher audio visualization is the thing for you. It's only $5. Excuse me. You can use it, and it's absolutely wonderful. It will get rid of, I could easily eat a pound bag of M&M peanuts every day. And I did that, and I probably didn't eat another M&M peanut for 5 to 10 years. I don't know. It was a long time. And now when I eat them, I eat 1 or 2, and then that's enough. I don't want them anymore. So if you follow that audio visualization, you'll not want that food for a while. So it's a really good one. Okay, water. You have to drink water. If you're not getting the progress you want, I almost always ask, that's the first thing I ask my clients. They say, well, I'm not doing very well. Well, one, are you sticking to the program? Or are you cheating? I find that if you cheat, not cheat with an extra half meal, but cheat with like a cookie or something that has fat in it, it takes you 2 to 3 days to recover, to get back on track. So don't do it. It's not worth it. However, your water is the second thing. So stay on your water. If you weigh 150 pounds, you should be drinking 75 ounces. If you weigh 200 pounds, you should be drinking 100 ounces a day. I can't tell you how important this is, especially with this program, because you're not eating a lot of fat. You might get a little constipated. And so water is the way to help with moving that along. It's essential for metabolism. If you're not, and this is whether you're on this program or not, drink a lot of water. Your body, the ability for your body to function will work better if you drink your water. Your metabolism will work better. You'll burn energy better if you drink water. You'll process your foods better if you drink water. Not only that, in a sense that because this program is so clean and there's not a lot of additives, preservatives, sugars, and all that, you're really doing somewhat of a body cleanse. So you really need to flush out those toxins. Again, whether on this program or not, you still need to flush out those toxins. Drink that water. Also, as you're burning the fat, especially, it will help process it through the body. What happens sometimes when people hit a plateau is that if you're drinking your proper water, what will happen is those fat cells will fill with water after the fat's gone, and you might hit a plateau because it looks like it, but then in 2 days, you might drop 3 pounds. You might not have lost anything for a couple days, and then all of a sudden you lose 3, maybe 4 pounds all at once. It's because that water keeps flushing out. So the best thing to do is keep drinking the water if you get stuck. Also helps you with feeling full. And not necessarily drink it while you're eating, but just drink it. A lot of times we mistake hunger for thirst, or thirst for hunger. We're really hungry, we're really thirsty, but we think we're hungry. So it will help ward off hunger. And as I said, all these things I'm saying are not only pertinent to this program, but just life in general. Always drink your water, and I already mentioned the constipation. So drink, drink, drink. Okay, now's the time for questions and answers. So if you have any questions, please put them in the chat box. And I'll do my best to answer what I can. See, I look different than my pictures even now. And I have my glass of water here. Okay, technically you aren't supposed to exercise on this program. And the science behind it is that you're not eating a lot of calories. And if your body can't access energy, such as, in the rest of your body, it will attack muscle. So if you decide you want to exercise on this program, you're going to have to experiment a little bit. And because your body, we don't want you burning muscle is the point. We want you to burn the fat. So we don't want you exercising so much that your body can't grab enough fat, then it goes after the muscle. So if you want to exercise, you need to add another, I want to say HCG appropriate meal in, because that will help you. Okay, alcohol. I get a ton of questions on alcohol. No, no, and no. And if you want to drink it on a regular basis, it's not the program for you. Again, alcohol, any kind of liquor or beer, provides those carbohydrates, and the body's going to burn those before it burns the fat, so it will slow down your progress. So you can have it, it's just going to slow down your progress. Again, it takes you 2 to 3 days to recover when you cheat on this program. So you don't want to drink alcohol if you want to be successful. Protein bars, meal supplement, I say no. There's too much in it that you don't know about. If you want a snack, again, it's hard because the program is so restrictive, and I understand that. But a protein bar, no, not as a meal supplement. Take a good multivitamin, and then if you're still hungry, again, eat another half a meal or a meal, appropriate HCG appropriate meal, to help you, because this program was put together over 60 years ago, or right about 60 years ago. And the food had a lot more nutrition in it then. So per calorie, it had more nutrition. So today, the food doesn't have as much nutritional value in it. Just to give you an example, I think it's two peaches. You'd have to, 2 peaches, the vitamin A in 2 peaches, you'd have to eat like 50 today to get the same amount of vitamin A from the peaches. So if you need to eat more, I say eat an HCG appropriate meal. Don't eat anything really off the program, which a protein bar is. There's nothing wrong with protein bars, but for this particular program, it's not appropriate. So hopefully that answers your question. Okay, any other questions? Now, I will say that the first 3 days of the program are the hardest, and that's with any eating program that you switch to. If you can get past the first 3 days, then it's easy. You get on the program, you actually feel good, you have more energy. I didn't, except for those first 3 days. I had a ton of energy. I went about my normal business. The hardest part was cooking for the family because they eat a little different and they are growing and they need uh, food. So I would do the base of the program so I could eat it. Then I would add to it so they would get more. Oh no, you can mix the veggies. You don't need to eat just one kind at a meal, like a salad. What you were trying to do is stay within the limitations. I think uh, what I would do is I'd get some lettuce, a couple tomatoes. I think I use green pepper too, and cucumber, and I mix that together. Now it's not going to be huge like a big salad. You might go to a restaurant and eat a huge salad. It's going to be more like this, but it's still appropriate. It's the things that were on the list. I don't think green pepper was, but that's one of those green vegetables that I said, well, it's green. It doesn't have a lot of calories. It's not starchy. So I added it in and I did okay with it. Salads are also a good idea for eating out. Restaurants always have vinegar or lemon that you can use as dressing. And I am checking out dressings right now. I'm waiting for some samples to come in for some salad dressings that should be pretty good. I'm answering your salad dressing question. That should be pretty good. So salad dressing, again, use a little bit of apple cider vinegar is good. Lemon, just, squeeze a fresh lemon on it and then use some herbs. I've always used salt on stuff, and I still did on this program, but I used sea salt, either Himalayan or Celtic sea salt on my things to help me to give it some taste. You can use some garlic powder with some lemon, and it's pretty tasty. And again, you can go to a restaurant and you can get a dinner salad, a dinner salad with chicken breasts, and that can be your meal when you're eating out. So you can still eat out on the program and just have to be a lot more careful. And then the salad dressings, I'll have to let you know and find them. And if you signed up for the newsletter, I think I put all of you on the newsletter as you signed up for the webinar. I'll be putting it in there, the salad dressings, but I'm checking it out right now. It does not have an artificial sweetener. It has stevia, which is a natural sweetener. It's actually a protein product. And I'll be tasting them hopefully shortly. They should be in the mail any day now. So hopefully that answered your salad dressing question. Again, this can be a very easy program. What I found too is that I would prep things on the weekend. And I work from home, but I don't, it's like I'm at work. People say, I don't know how you work from home. I work harder at home than I would if I went to an office because my desk is right here. I don't have to travel. So I actually spend more time working at home. But what I would do on the weekend is I would prep things. I would get a bunch of greens, like turnip greens, and I would rinse them and wash them. I have a lettuce spinner. I'd put them in there and wash them and put them in the fridge. And literally, and I have a page on this, 5-minute meals. I could make a meal in 5 minutes because I would buy chicken breasts. I'm a bargain hunter. I would buy them on sale for $1.99 a pound. I'd take the chicken breasts and I would make them into 3-ounce portions, which is what you can have on the program. And then I would freeze them. And there's 2 ways you can freeze them. I sometimes use deli wrap on each one so they were separate and I could pull one out. Or I would I put them on a tray in the freezer, leave them there a couple hours, take them out, pop them off the tray and put them in a bag and then put them back in the freezer. So I would prep my vegetables. You don't really need to prep fruit or the Melba toast. And I would get my chicken ready. And I ate fish too. And you can actually buy fish that's individually frozen. I know I ate some tilapia. But the chicken, what I could do is I could pull it out of the bag. I'd put it on my Foreman grill, which would sit on my counter. I'd take a big handful of the greens. I would stick them in a pot and just steam them for a couple minutes while the chicken was cooking. I'd put a little soy sauce on the greens. I would put a little garlic on the chicken. And while those were cooking, I'd get my strawberries out or my orange peeled and get my Melba toast out, and my meal's ready. And I say that I might get everything ready, but I'd spread out eating it. I wouldn't just sit down and eat. I would eat a little bit, wait, eat a little bit more, and wait. So and having everything ready, it's a lot easier for you to stay on the program, because if you don't have it ready, you tend not to stay on the program. You tend to veer off if you don't have the stuff ready, because you get hungry, and then you're like, it's kind of like going shopping when you're hungry at the grocery store. You know not to go shopping when you're hungry, because you'll just buy more, and you'll buy things that aren't good for you, because you'll be craving the chocolate and the salty snacks and that type of thing. So, you know, do what works for you. And if you go to work, I mean, if you work outside the home, you could even cook, you know, 5 chicken breasts for the week, and then just warm them up at the microwave at the office. Same with the vegetables. You could do greens one day and prep those earlier on. You could make a salad one day, you know, or just take, you know, a cucumber to. I like the little itty bitty cucumbers that are maybe 6 inches long, and they're probably not any wider than that. I would get those, and I forgot how much. It's been a while since I've been on the program. I forgot if 1 or 2. I would look at the calorie count and determine it, because the details are on the website about how much you can eat, and I would make sure that it was okay, and then I'd take 2 of them, or I'd just take a handful of tomatoes sometimes. So, any other questions from the group? About ready to wrap up. If you don't have any other questions, I haven't heard from a few of you. Just 2 of you have been talking to me, really. So I'll be more than happy to answer any questions. If not, we're going to close shop in just a minute here. So I'll wait. Let me know if you're all set. Anything you need to know to be comfortable or that you have questions on. I think the hardest thing is if you're on the road a lot. I think this program will be very difficult if you're on the road a lot. If you're in one place, you're okay. Well, good. I'm looking forward to you getting started too. It's pretty exciting, and you'll do well. I know if you stick with the program will work for you. Okay, anyone else? Well, I want to thank all of you for being here today. And, you know, if there's anything that, there's a ton of information on the site. There's a table of contents that I suggest you might want to look at, so you can find your way around and find the things you need to know, because there's a bunch of frequently asked questions, and I can't even begin to tell you how frequent some of those questions are asked, because people don't read the frequently asked questions. And then again, I'll probably be introducing the salad dressing that's appropriate for the program, and get that going for you. And maybe one of these days I'll do vitamins too, and tell you which ones are good and which ones aren't, and which ones you should have. There's even a page for if you really are craving sugar, not necessarily a specific food. If you have some sugar cravings, there's a page on sugar cravings that will give you a ton of some good information, and a couple individual supplements that can help you with sugar cravings. So I wish you each an abundance of success with the program. Wish you the best, and you take care, and thank you for being with me today.